What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back in the JDM Garage Hero Garage, the OG Garage. And today is a special video. I would like to capture my 2026 current car fleet collection, whatever you want to call it. Now, I imagine sometimes this channel is a little bit hard to follow because there's so many vehicles coming in and out. You don't know which ones are flip cars, you don't know which ones are keepers and part of my personal collection, and what all of these cars do. They all serve a different purpose. It's like having a different shoe for every occasion. So today we're going to step through and I'm going to talk a little bit about each car and basically explain the background, where I got it, where it's from, what I've done to it, and what it's doing. Okay, now first and foremost is my CRX. I have had this car probably the longest out of the fleet, so that's why we're going to start with it. This vehicle right here I acquired in 2018, and it's basically a remake of the car I wanted in high school because I guess my first tuner car was a Honda CRX. It was a 1989 DX model, just like this. And I like the DX model because it comes with a bigger front hub, so you can do, conversions and engine swaps, but it also has a slick top, i.e. no sunroof. So that's another thing that's good about the DX model. People don't know this, but all SIs actually came with sunroofs. So in that sense, you kind of want a DX for a road going car. I fell in love with this car way back in high school because there was one down the street from me, and I just really got into this little wedge shape of the car. Not a lot of cars have this kind of look, and it's unique to the CRX, and for some reason I just thought it was too cool. So I asked my dad, what kind of car is that? At the time, he's Civic. And later I found it to be a CRX because I just realized this wedge shape, it was just something that I couldn't get over. And yeah, ended up finding out that they're relatively inexpensive. And I got my first one in high school for a measly price of, I think, $2,500. I think I paid half, my dad paid half. And basically, I didn't have any money to mod the car in high school, and then it got totaled by someone hitting it in the parking lot of an AutoZone not too long after I bought it. But I always dreamed of doing a K20 swap in one of these cars. So, after you grow up a little bit, and I got my first job that I was making a little bit of money and decided I wanted a project car, I sunk my teeth back into a Honda CRX. Now, this one I've done a lot of things to. I've put a Type R big brake front conversion on it, as well as the rear disc brake conversion on it. It's an 89, but it's got 91 taillights. I did do all the body work on the car. I repainted everything. I took out all the dents and dings as much as I could. And you'll see that everything is jammed out as far as the color goes because it was originally this light blue color and I painted it Suzuka blue. And I got some footage of that here, which I'll drop in. And as far as the interior goes, we got these are a nice little touch. They're an OEM Plus kind of vibe. It's definitely matches the vibe of the blue car, blue interior. And one of my favorite mods to this car is the rear seat. So those of you that know that only the JDM version of the CRX came with a rear seat with the lap belts and whatnot. And that's just too cool. The US version was always a two-seater, so I did the JDM rear seat conversion, actually welded in the brackets to have everything in properly for the seat belts and whatnot. So that's a cool mod. Definitely needs a little bit of work. The shifting linkage right now is off, which is why the trans tunnel, the cover there is sitting in the corner. And that's something that we'll dive into later on the channel. I know that I want to get it up and running. I think that it would be a really cool car for all of us to enjoy hitting the track, even a drag strip or two. Also got a carbon fiber rear cargo cover, which is another rare piece. A bunch of just odds and ends that I've collected over the years. Carbon fiber rear hatch lip there. Carbon fiber B-pillar covers. Carbon fiber mirrors. I mean, it just goes on and on. I've spent a lot of time trying to upgrade the vehicle. I absolutely love this car. This was my dream build and still love it. This is where all the magic happens. So this is the K20A JDM Integra Type R engine and transmission swap that I did on it. It makes about 220 horsepower at the crank, and it has a 6-speed limited slip differential transmission. This thing was bad to the bone, and when it was at the top of its game, it was awesome. It was making 200 wheel horsepower in this super lightweight chassis, and it was a super fun car to drive. But as I mentioned, the transmission linkage needs a little bit of work. It's just not where it was when I first did the swap, and now it's time to refresh things, upgrade things, clean things up, and at some point this will be a project that we bring back onto the channel. It's been a long time since I messed with this car, but we've been through a lot. We've been through a little bit of an accident. We've been through a couple rebuilds, and it's been a long time. But yeah, I'm happy to bring her back to life when the time comes. Now, this is a GT3 Honda Fit. I absolutely love this car. It is the sport version, so it gets the cool front lip, the ground effects, and the rear lip on the bumper. It is a manual transmission, and it is basically a, how would you call it? Family roundabout, go-getter, grocery getter, beater car. I mean, it fits 2 car seats, 2 kids in the back. It's got a big trunk. We can fit both of our golden retrievers in there. I mean, this car really does it all. We actually took it on a little bit of a road trip yesterday. We got caught in a snowstorm, and she handled great. No issues there. Absolutely love this car. It is 40, to get 40 miles per gallon, you did upgrade the rear sway bar. It still turns and handles like a go-kart. It's a lot of fun. Basically, it's my family version of the CRX there. 4-cylinder Honda hatchbacks, both sporty in their own unique way. One has a lot more airbags and amenities and safety precautions, ABS, etc., and one is more of a race car. Either way, they can sit 4 people. They're both tiny and they're both fun, so this car is definitely on the keeper list. Over here, we have my wife's motorcycle. This is a Gixxer 250R. It's a nice little starter bike, and we don't get to ride it as much as we want to, but it's a lot of fun. And I believe we haven't talked about this guy yet. This is my 2016 Harley Davidson Breakout. Love this bike. It's got the long rake on the front forks, which makes it look like a chopper, along with the big fat 240 millimeter rear wide tire. This looks like a factory chopper that Harley Davidson would have made. And then of course we have the Honda Monkey here too. This is a fun little bike that we use to ride around in the summer with the kids around the lake. And again, another clean shot of the CRX here. Absolutely love it. This is the current state of JDM Garage here in the wintertime. It is more for storing cars and bikes as opposed to trying to, work on and wrench on things. Of course, the Land Cruiser. This thing is my ultimate chariot. I got this right during COVID time before all the prices went up. This is an awesome vehicle as well. Of course, this old girl's still here. We will never get rid of the Land Cruiser, LC100, 1999 Land Cruiser. Rusty but trusty, not true. This thing's from the South, so it doesn't have any rust. It's very clean, does what it needs to do. And she just kind of sits here as a backup vehicle or an off-road vehicle or kind of a storage device. I think right now this car has Christmas presents still hiding in it from. So we have a little electric go-kart here for the kids that we'll give to them when the weather gets nicer. We have got a couple of them from Grandma and Grandpa Santa here. So a little bit of an outdoor shed in this moment, and there's nothing wrong with that. Got the company car there. Just means that I don't drive it for my personal reasons, so it's only company use only. And next up, we have I'm just kidding, that's not mine. We have my 996. This is the all-wheel drive, and I would much rather have a 997. Of course, these headlights are the ones that you want. Does 996 still gets it done for me? It is the bargain-friendly 911 runny egg headlight version, but for me, I felt like this 996.2 facelifted version is a lot better, and it actually doesn't bother me at all. So it still has the classic 911 silhouette, but not least it has that light bar tail light, which I really appreciate. That kind of set it off for me, which is why I felt like the C4S was the one that I needed to have. And of course we have the newest car of the fleet, R34 GTR. We've covered this, in the last couple of videos. This is obviously the newest car to the fleet. All right, now let's look at the next round of cars. We are at my rental storage garage, and we will start first with this green Miata. This car actually has a cool story. It is a rare 1997 M Edition Miata, which means it comes with the speakers and the headrests, and along with a few other goodies. This specific car is actually super clean because it was towed behind a RV for the majority of its life. And while the interior doesn't show much wear because it was really well taken care of and low mileage, the odometer actually has a ton of miles because it was towed behind that RV, and allegedly that racked up some mileage. So I was a little bit worried about this car at first because technically they say you're not supposed to flat tow Miatas behind RVs. So I thought to myself, you know what, it's a little risk because it's already got a lot of stuff done to it. It's got good maintenance records. It passed my inspection, and for what it's worth, I got a really good price on it. And what I want to do with it, it's going to be perfect. Inevitably, I will probably do a 6-speed swap on this car, but for now, even as is, it's perfect. So if something ever blows, I'll replace it and make it better, but I can't justify getting rid of this car. $6 grand into it, and it's just an awesome little track car that I can take and not worry about and not have to be concerned about breaking something or having any issues or potentially having somebody else hit me. None of those things concern me on a car like this because it's already been fully depreciated, having 230 some thousand miles on the clock. And it's already, now it just needs to be used. Okay, so next up we have this Celica GTS from 2001. Now, this car has a very interesting story. I actually drove this car in high school. My parents bought it brand new in 2001. And for that reason, it's kind of like the car that started it all for me. That's right around Fast and Furious came out. And it's also around the time that I was getting into cars and, right before I got my driver's license and I was getting excited to, start learning about cars and working on cars. My dad went and picked up this car and, we all kind of joked around about this being his midlife crisis car, but I really can't talk because I have done a thing of buying a 6-speed Japanese sports car at, almost 40 years old here. But this car is in great condition. Like I said, it's a one-owner car. We've always had it in our family. It's technically still my mom's. It's not my car really, but I do have to caretake it. They have their own cars now, so nobody's driving it. I've put a new transmission in it. I've done a lot of work into it, put a new clutch into it. It's got, a relatively good body. It's got the original TRD body kit, which is a very rare option. If you ask my dad, he'll tell you it's one of 5 or one of 7 or one of 12, just, depending on however many he believes it is that day. But nevertheless, it's a rare car. It is special, and it's special to me. It has a lot of nostalgia, so that's why we keep that in the family, along with this 2002 Trans Am WS6. So this car is very interesting. This is actually my wife's car. And when I first met her and I told her I was into cars, she actually said to me that her dad used to have a Trans Am or a Firebird. And I was like, oh, okay. In my head, I was wondering what kind. I wondered if it was a WS6. And then later on, we found out it was a 2002, and it was in fact a WS6. She showed me some photos of it. And we saw that it was basically this exact car, of black on black T-tops, Trans Am WS6. It was a 2002, final year of production for the F-body and the Trans Am. And it was the one with the flip-up headlights. So, this is a very, very, very cool car. And unfortunately, after her father passed away, we decided to pick up one of these as a tribute vehicle to him. So that is why we will also never be selling this car. This is a forever keeper. It's a clean 50,000 mile car, basically bone stock. It does have the 6-speed manual transmission and an SLP exhaust on it, but otherwise it's a very clean car. As everyone knows, the sail panel gets a little bit of wear over time, and eventually we're going to take that to my boy Curtis at Templeton Refinishing, and we're going to get that redone. But otherwise, this car is very cool. Absolutely love it, and it's definitely going to stay in the family for a long time. Next is my R32 GTR. Yes, it's sitting on R34 wheels, and it's sitting like a monster truck, and it's dirty as shit right now because last time we put it away, we were coming back from a car show and had to put it away wet, which I regret, but it is what it is. This car is the one that kind of started off my JDM obsession, and it's definitely one of the ones that I will keep forever, basically. It's super clean. It's bone stock. It's even that CD player right there is the factory CD player. It actually has a little factory CD changer there in the center console from Sony. Very cool car in very good condition. I can't ever get rid of this thing. As you can imagine, it's gonna be a keeper. So I honestly never thought I was gonna get this car, and I found a way, which you guys all can too. Takes a little bit of car flippage, but you can get one. And this one does have the Nismo side skirts and the rear spats as well, the OEM ones. So it's got some rare pieces on it. R34 wheels. It comes with OEM wheels too. And at the time, because I really wanted a R34, I put on an R34 valve cover along with R34 turbos as well, just for giggles. So she ain't going nowhere. And the POW, you guys saw the POW in the last video, but that's not mine. All right, so that's a wrap here. Let's get back in the fit and let's head home. All right, bye ladies. I'll be good to each other. Get along nicely. I don't want to hear any bickering over here. So we'll be back soon. Only a few more months till spring. All right, so next up is our Lexus GX 460. This is our daily driver and toy hauler vehicle. So
We bought this in 2020, right in the beginning of COVID, when cars were still really cheap before they went up, and we got a super good deal on it. It actually came with 105,000 miles and now has 190. So in that 80,000 miles of ownership, it's done a lot of towing, and all I've ever had to do to this vehicle is tires, brakes, oil, and transmission fluid. Besides that, it just keeps going and going and going. I'd really love to see this car do 300,000 miles. I really think that's the goal that I want to put it through. And maybe at the end of its life, we'll give it to our kids or whatnot. But this is definitely a car that's going to stay in the family and definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. And last but not least, this is our 1991 Toyota Dolphin. This is a rare Toyota RV camper with a 5-speed manual with only 37,000 miles. And because of the rare options, we flew out to Colorado and bought it last summer sight unseen. All four of us flew out and drove it back to Michigan. We did have some ups and downs, not just in the mountains, but with the fuel pump as well. More on that at another time, but it's definitely a keeper. Okay, and that wraps up my 2026 car collection. I know some of you guys are probably wondering how we went from beater Hondas, CRVs, and Civics to 911s and GTRs, and I'm going to cover all of that. It really did come from flipping cars, and in my next video, I'm going to talk about all of the cars I flipped in 2025, my profits, my losses, etc. So stick around. Appreciate all the new subscribers. If you like what you saw, feel free to give me a thumbs up and take good care.
Probably one of the final cars for a while. I don't see myself picking up anything in the near future, but I take that back. This is like not my car yet, but it might as well be, because it's an RS3 that I plan to buy at some point. Right, Clint?
There you go. It's all yours, man.
I haven't made a single payment on it yet. I'm not going to watch. This is a car that I strongly desire. I mean, she's gorgeous. Look at that cargo top. Wrapped the same blue. And it's got the big chopping TTRS wheels. This thing's bad to the bone. And I told you in another video that I want to buy it, and I still do. So yeah, that is not part of my 2026 car collection, but it will be my 2027 car collection.